Tiger Woods recently said something that stopped the golf world cold. It wasn't about his own comeback or tour politics. It was about his son. During a TGL match where his Jupiter Lynx team faced Rory McIlroy's Boston Common Club, Tiger was sidelined with his ongoing Achilles and back issues. Watching from the bench as his team staged a dramatic comeback from near-impossible odds before ultimately falling 7-6 in overtime. In a moment that felt almost offhand but carried enormous weight, Tiger publicly dubbed Rory the Intimidator, a nickname that spread instantly across every golf platform. Coming from a man who spent 2 decades weaponizing his own psychological presence against every opponent he faced, that label isn't a casual compliment. It's a recognition of a rare quality Tiger knows intimately because he built a career on it. But the nickname wasn't even the most stunning part. What truly caught people off guard was the advice Tiger has quietly been giving his son, Charlie. Study Rory McIlroy's swing, not his father's. Tiger's own technique is one of the most analyzed and imitated in the history of the sport, but it demanded extreme torque and physical stress that contributed to multiple back surgeries, knee procedures, and the injuries that have steadily eroded his ability to compete. Rory's swing produces comparable power through a smoother, more efficient motion that puts far less strain on the body over time. By steering Charlie toward that model, Tiger is making a clear-eyed admission that his own method, however brilliant, came at a price he doesn't want his son to pay. That kind of self-awareness, openly acknowledging the limits of your own approach and pointing your child toward someone else's, reveals a maturity that goes well beyond anything Tiger was known for during his competitive prime. When Rory was told about Tiger's comments, his response was telling. There was no gloating, no savoring the moment. Instead, he expressed genuine discomfort with being held up as a technical standard, pointing out that his game still carries flaws he works to correct every week. That humility isn't false modesty from a man who has won 4 majors and completed the career Grand Slam at Augusta in 2025. It's the reaction of someone who spent years being crushed under the weight of comparison to Tiger and doesn't want to pass that burden on to anyone else, least of all Tiger's own son. Rory has lived that particular kind of pressure from the inside, and his instinct when praised is to redirect rather than absorb. What makes the whole dynamic so compelling is how much the relationship between these two men has shifted. When Rory first broke through, he was framed almost entirely as Tiger's heir, and that framing followed him like a shadow through every near miss and major drought he endured. Now, with Tiger's playing career winding down and Rory having finally claimed everything the sport offers, they've arrived somewhere more interesting than rivalry. A mutual respect built on years of watching each other compete at the highest level and understanding what that actually costs. The extended handshake after the TGL match, the moment where Tiger said something that made Rory laugh and shake his head, felt less like competitors exchanging pleasantries and more like two people who have genuinely earned each other's regard. Charlie Woods, now 17 and committed to Florida State, sits at an extraordinary intersection of inheritance and possibility. He carries the genetic gifts and early instruction of the greatest player who ever lived, alongside his father's explicit blessing to find a more sustainable path rather than replicate something that wore Tiger's body down over time. Most young players never receive that kind of permission from the people closest to them. Tiger's decision to point Charlie toward Rory isn't just technical advice. It's the highest endorsement one competitor can offer another, delivered quietly and personally in a way that says more about both men than any trophy or ranking ever could. What's unfolding between these two isn't a story about golf statistics. It's about how legends reckon with legacy, what they choose to pass forward, and how the fiercest rivals can become, in the end, something that looks a lot like allies.